Good afternoon, Ms. Mukhale.
Good afternoon, ACJ, and how are you?
I'm all right. How are you this afternoon?
I'm feeling a little bit but I'll be okay.
You feel a little bit nervous?
Yes.
Oh, no, relax.
Okay.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for availing yourself for consideration for appointment as a judge in the Gauteng Division of the High Court. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ACJ.
I see that you hold the degrees of BProc and LLB, is that right?
Yes, it is right.
And you got the BProc in 1995, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, you've forgotten.
Yes, it is right.
Yeah, and you got your LLB in 2002.
Yes, it is right.
The BProc was, you got it from the then University of the North.
Yes.
And the LLB you got at Vista University.
Yes, it is correct.
Yes. And you started your work as an interpreter, is that right?
Yes, yeah.
Court interpreter.
Casual
court interpreter.
Yes.
But you didn't do that work casually, huh?
By then we were calling it casual interpreter because if you were applying to be a prosecutor, you had to start being an interpreter first in court before jumping to prosecution. Yes.
Okay, and you were a state advocate at some stage, is that right?
Yes, from 2002 I was a junior state advocate.
Yes.
Up until 2005, where I was appointed to be a senior state advocate. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And from 2007 to 2010, you were an acting magistrate.
Yes, I was an acting magistrate in family court.
Yes. And then in 2011, you left the magistracy and got admitted as an advocate, is that right?
No, I was admitted as an advocate in 2002. For me to be able to be a state advocate at the DPP's office, I had to be admitted as
yes. So I see here you say you got self-employed as an advocate in 2011 up to now.
Yes, as a defense advocate.
Yes. Did you do pupillage or not?
No, I did not.
You did not do pupillage. Okay, and did you do only criminal matters in your practice?
No.
What did you do as a self-employed advocate from 2011 up to now?
From
2011. The questionnaire here, you say self-employed as an advocate from 2011 to date. That's what it says.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I assume you are practicing as an advocate.
Yes, I'm practicing as an advocate, dealing with various matters.
Or you don't just deal with criminal matters?
No, I receive mostly criminal briefs, but I also do other
work from other branches of law.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to share with the commissioners what type of other work that you do other than criminal work? Labor law work, or commercial work, or RAF work, and so on?
Yes, RAF matters, yes, I dealt with them. Commercial matters, I dealt with them. Family court matters, I dealt with them. Yeah, labor law matters, I did not. I've never dealt with them.
Yes. And in which courts do you normally appear? In terms of high court, magistrates court.
High court matter, high court.
Yeah.
And with commercial law matters, I always appear at commercial crime, SCCU court, commercial crime court, yes.
Okay. Okay. And I see that you say you have acted as a judge from 2020 to 2021. Do you recall from what month in 2020?
From January,
2020.
yes. Actually the whole of last year.
You were acting?
I was acting, yes.
Okay. And are you still acting now?
Now.
Or when did you stop acting this year?
The 19th of, let me check.
Or just the month?
The last 19th of last term.
September?
Of September, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. And were you acting both in Johannesburg or in Pretoria?
Yes, I acted in both divisions.
Yes.
Last year it was in Johannesburg,
yeah.
and this is in Pretoria.
Okay. And how did you find acting when you started acting last year in the High Court?
Fortunately, my first acting stint was in the criminal court, where I specialize, and that helped me to acclimatize myself with the environment. So I was comfortable. So even when I was appointed in the civil court, it was just a smooth ride. I did not struggle because I was already within the environment, and I gelled well in the environment. I do agree that I had a little bit of some challenges when dealing with civil matters because of the load of work, but with the assistance of my colleagues and with the fact that I took efforts, I compromised, I took time to read my papers, to do some research that helped me to settle well in the civil matter, in the civil court. So what I can say now is that I am settled in both criminal and civil courts.
Yes. And do you recall about how many judgments you have written as an acting judge?
52.
52.
Yes, excluding 5 extempores.
Yes. And are there some that have got reported in the meantime or not really?
Not.
Yes. Okay. And of that 52, what percentage would you say are criminal law matters, are criminal matters?
I think 30%.
About 30%?
Yes.
And did you say that with civil court you didn't find any difficulty?
No, I did not find. It is challenging, yes, I agree, but I didn't find any difficulty. Hard work, it goes with hard work. You just need to read your papers. You just need to look at the rules. You just need to consult, if needs be, with your senior judges, and that's it.
And you have sat in motion court? Yes. Opposed motion court as well?
Yes, I did.
Yes. And you managed?
Yes, I managed. That's why I'm saying I even drafted judgments.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have a recollection of about how many weeks you might have had motion courts? Or is that difficult to tell?
I have a spreadsheet with me that can maybe guide
that
me.
has got all of that?
Yes.
But would you say it's quite a number of weeks?
Yes.
Different times?
In total, I acted for 56 weeks, and in criminal trials it was 25 weeks. So, yeah.
Yes.
I think the other was in civil.
Yes.
Civil court.
And did you get familiar with the Plascon-Evans rule in motion matters?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Do you want to share with the commissioners what it entails?
Plascon-Evans
rule.
I don't know which because it is used in most, is a principle that is used in most cases, in most matters. So I don't know, maybe if the CJ can maybe
In
direct.
motion matters, it's a rule that applies in opposed motion matters.
Yes, I know it's mostly applied in opposed motion matters. Yes, where we maybe the other party will be requesting the court to look at that that rule in order to consider whether it's fair for you. Actually, I came a lot with that rule, so I that's why I'm requesting CJ to maybe to direct me as to particularly what instance.
Well, if you are familiar with it, you ought not to require any further information. Once I say Plascon events rule, you should know what it is.
Yes, I know. It's just that I remember various cases where I was faced with that rule, but then I don't know which one how to answer this question actually.
Yes. Have you sat in criminal appeals
Yes.
with other judges?
Yes.
Yes. Have you come to know under what circumstances sitting on appeal in a criminal matter you can interfere with the factual findings of the lower court?
Yes, I know.
Under what circumstances may you do that?
On conviction or sentence? If
let's say on conviction.
On conviction, if the conviction is wrong, you interfere with the conviction. Sentence, if the sentence is inappropriate, you interfere with the sentence.
Yeah. Okay. Is that all?
I think so.
Yes.
If the sentence is inappropriate, yes, you look at the what is required, the minimum sentence. If it's too much, you reduce. If it's too low, you feel that this sentence was supposed to be the appropriate sentence is this, you increase.
Okay, all right. Judge President Lambo, do you want to?
Thank you very much, Acting Chief Justice. Good afternoon, Advocate Mokhale.
Dumela JP.
Okay, mme.
Ke teng o kae JP wena?
Le nna ke siame. Yes, you are correct. You've done a total of 56 weeks acting. The bulk of it is in criminal trials, am I correct?
Yes, 26 is in the criminal trial.
And you have penned a number of judgments. Is it 51?
52.
52 judgments.
Yes.
It's actually 56, but 5 of them were extemporaries.
Yes.
Right. And I just need to revisit one area that the Acting Chief Justice raised with you. You say criminal work in your practice is 30%, but in your questionnaire it appears as if you indicated it to be 96%.
No, in my practice, no. Yeah. Maybe I did not understand the question. I thought the ACJ is asking about the judgments, the percentage in the judgments, how many percentage, yes.
But your practice was criminal law.
Yes, it was criminal law.
Because that's what I want to come to.
Yes.
When you started acting and you expressed the wish to be groomed, I told you that we need to take you out of your criminal law comfort zone. You remember?
I remember very well.
Yeah, and then that's when you started being allocated work in the civil section.
Yes.
And it was the first time when you acted there, you called me afterwards to say it was tough, but you pulled through. You remember?
I remember.
Yes. And every time you went back there, you found that you were settling in more, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. There's criticism of you by the GCB, paragraph 4.3, 4.4, and 4.5. I'm sure you are aware of that.
I'm aware of it, JP.
What is your response?
My response is that I made a factual finding on balance of probability.
Yeah.
And according to me and the law, and according to the law, that's the civil standard.
Okay.
And I did not receive any complaint or maybe request for leave to appeal based on the fact that I applied a wrong standard
Yeah.
in the civil matter. And if JP can look at that judgment, it was penned down the 6th day of January 2021. Before that judgment and after, I penned down many judgments, and I have never received any complaint that I am using a criminal standard in civil matters.
Okay. Thank you, Acting Chief Justice. I've got no further questions.
Thank you. MEC Lesotho, do you have any questions for the candidates? If so, you can go ahead.
No, I'm covered, Acting Chief Justice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Commissioner JSC, are you covered or?
Just one.
Okay.
Yeah. What is the difference between parliamentary sovereignty and constitutional supremacy? What is the difference, if any?
Parliamentary sovereignty and constitutional supremacy. I'm not sure if I'll answer this right, but I think constitutional supremacy deals with the constitution. I don't know. And the parliament is where the rules are made. I'm not sure.
Okay. Was it Commissioner Hlepu or Commissioner Shabangunda who had the hand up? Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you, Acting Chief Justice. Good afternoon or good evening.
Good evening, Commissioner.
Okay, I'm looking at your questionnaire. You know, sometimes we normally say we ask people about transformation, what initiative do they do? We don't only ask them from advocates. Well, and on your questionnaire, you said not applicable. I just want to understand what you do to enrich yourself. And I see you don't even belong to any organization here, but I see that, okay, as much as you've been what do you call it? You have been nominated by Nadel. I just want to know what other ventures do you do to empower other women, more especially that you have been a prosecutor, a state advocate, director of public prosecution. I just want to know, what do you do we need to uplift each other. How do we go about it?
Okay. Thank you very much, Commissioner. I believe that transformation is in my system. When I was appointed as a senior state advocate, that's when I started to promote other people, other women, because there I was allocated some juniors to train. So I will transfer the skills to them so that they can better themselves. When I jumped actually I changed. I resigned from the NPA and I jumped ships. I became a magistrate, and I was appointed in the family court. I had a smaller unit with some prosecutors, some secretaries, some registrar to train. And what I like about being in the family court, it's something that I will never forget, because I remember I was trained in Johannesburg family court. after that, I was appointed in Ga-Rankuwa Magistrate Court. And upon my arrival, things were different. They were still using the old system relating to maintenance. Women were still queuing at the end of the month to receive the money from the fathers of their children. And it didn't sit well with me. Because first of all, for these women to come to court, it means that the fathers of the children did not want to pay their maintenance. Now, instead of getting assistance, they have to queue. You'll find in the morning, when you arrive there in the morning, the queue is very long. They will be telling you that we've been here since 4 o'clock in the morning, just to get the money for our children. So the skill that I received from family court in Johannesburg, I implemented it in Ga-Rankuwa. I started by saying that, by issuing out notices that first appearances, an applicant must be in possession of bank account. And I put some notices to say that whoever is receiving money here, please make sure that you come with a bank account, and the finance system, but the finance division should endorse the bank account in their system, so that immediately when the monies are paid from the employer of the father, the money is transferred immediately to the bank account. And within 3 months, that issue was resolved. And there was another issue again. They were still using provision of Section 31. Failure to pay maintenance, you have to go to court, things like that. So for me, it was not, it was something that surprised me, because if you are saying the father now, don't go to work, come here and go to prison, then we are killing the child. And here we have emolument
Try
of
and make
attachment.
your answers as brief as possible, Ms. Mogale.
Oh, okay. In a nutshell, I can say that I transfer skills to the young prosecutors there to use emolument of attachment instead of Section 31 for the beneficiaries to receive the money into their accounts. And after that, I became a defense counsel. In our bar, we have people. I'll train those people. And again, legal aid office, if I'm allocated work, okay, maybe with the junior, I'll be requested to assist that junior in court. And again, I was a board member at Brett's Hospital. We were transforming young children. We will go out to the schools and encourage young children, more especially the grade 11s and grade 10s, to apply for the scholarship where they go to Cuba to train for doctoring. So according to me, I was assisting the community a lot, and I was doing that pro bono. And even now, I believe that me being an acting judge, other women can see that, and they can see that it is possible for one to achieve.
Okay, just a follow up. Where do you? I'm looking at your age. Do as at the bar? Where do you get your briefs, or do you get briefs to? This is my.
From legal aid.
Sorry, I'm sorry. What was the question? I didn't hear.
No, I just wanted to know where does she get her briefs, because for me, yeah.
Yes. And what did you give an answer? Did you get briefs?
Yes, from legal aid.
Oh, and from attorneys outside legal aid?
Yes, and even attorney for civil matters. I'm depending on private attorneys because state attorney never briefed me.
Yes, and for criminal matters?
Legal aid and sometimes private.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I see on your questionnaire that under question 6.2, where it says, what proportion of your litigation work has been in the field of, and then there are 5 fields given. You said criminal law, 96%, administrative law, 10%, constitutional law, 15%. Is that correct?
Yeah, constitutional law, yes.
No, all of this. Criminal law, 96%, administrative law, 10%, constitutional law, 15%.
Yes,
Are those answers correct?
yes, they are correct.
But your litigation work would be 100%. So how do you get more than 4% after you have 96% of your criminal work?
Pardon? I didn't get that.
Your litigation work as a
Yes.
whole would be 100%. You understand that? Do you understand that?
Yes,
Your litigation all
As
the
a
work
whole.
litigation work you do is 100%.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
You are then asked to say what proportion of that
Oh.
litigation work
Okay,
falls under criminal law, falls under administrative law, falls under constitutional law, falls under labor law. So you say the proportion under criminal law is 96%. So that should mean that whatever else you do will not be more than 4%.
yeah,
But with you have written administrative law 10%, constitutional law 15%.
I think that's why I made a mistake.
Mm,
Yes, I think I made a mistake.
mm. Okay, Commissioner Nyambi.
Thank you. Evening.
Good evening, Commissioner.
The comments about the GCP,
Yes,
the negative one, maybe to be fair to yourself, if you can try to deal with them so that when doing deliberations, we can't use them against you.
I thought I've dealt with it, or maybe let me repeat it. Yes, I'm aware of the comment. That's why I'm saying I made my factual finding on balance of probability, and according to me, that's a civil standard. And with the fact that I am not ready, I still lack a civil experience. I disagree with that because even though I didn't have advantage of receiving more civil briefs, but civil law has never been foreign to me. I studied and passed civil law at school, and when I was a magistrate for 3 years, I was dealing with family court, domestic violence, and children's court. And according to me, that's civil law. As a defense counsel, I've been training people, civil law, ethics, motion court. And I was also in the serving as a pro forma prosecutor in the disciplinary inquiries of our bar. Is civil court. And after my acting appointment, I was exposed fully in the civil court. That is why I'm saying I managed to write down some judgments, and I also had privilege of attending aspirant judges training, which assisted me a lot with civil work. So now I can say I am comfortable with civil work in civil court.
Thanks, Advocate Mokhale. Thank you, ACJ.
Thank you. Minister, you had your hand up.
Yeah, no, thank you. I see you left the NPA and you are at the bar. I heard you saying you are briefed by Legal Aid South Africa. Does the NPA ever brief you?
The NPA?
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
Commissioners on the virtual platform, is there anybody who has a question?
Yes,
No.
thank you.
Oh,
I have a question.
yes, Judge President Liu.
Yes, the 15% of constitutional work that you are referring to, can you quote one or two of them that you dealt with?
Like even now, I'm busy with a matter. We call it a rhino matter because it has it deals with rhino poaching, money laundering, and so many charges. A constitutional issue has been raised. The matter now is being referred to the Constitutional Court because we have a dispute relating to the constitutionality of certain acts. So that's why I'm saying that this matter, there are constitutional issues that were raised, and even when one is dealing with bail applications, is in relation to the constitutionality, right to liberty, right to freedom of a person. So I've dealt with those cases, number of them. So, and even when you are in the criminal court, you deal mostly with the constitutional issues.
Are you done, Judge President?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I think we have come to the end of this interview. Thank you very much, Ms. Mohale, for availing yourself. You are now excused.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.